So let's get down to business on the vol front, listeners. Remember, you can run these reports for yourselves. Just type CME and CVOL, CVOL, into any browser. That'll get you to the CVOL dashboard. Going to kick it off in the Treasuries. Going to look at the Treasury from a yield vol perspective first. Closing in on 198.5, getting about 2.25 points back today. That is the high for the week. Treasury yield vol looking spicy again, gaining about 2.25 points. That is the high for the week. The low, 88, pretty much exactly. So over a 10 handle range on the Treasury yield volatility for the week. But then again, it is Jackson Hole week. People have eyes glued to the Fed yet again. Probably makes some sense why we're seeing a little bit of froth back on the yield side. What's cooking in the metals? Nearly a 16, 15.95 as we're kicking off the show, up about 1/3 point today. That's close to the high for the week, but not quite the high. The high was 16.29, the low 15.60. So metals kind of hanging out in the middle of their weekly range right now. In fact, interesting, metals vol came in every day this week with the exception of today. Today's the lone gainer out there. Out to the realm of FX. FX not known to be a bastion of volatility, hanging out at about 7 3/4 right now, gaining about 1/4 point today. So that's actually a decent move for FX. You're starting at a baseline of around 7.5. 1/4 point is a big move. And that is pretty much the high for the week. The low, 7.43. FX vol getting a little bit of a kick into higher gear in the last couple of sessions of the week. And then going out to the ag product C vol, listeners. That's at a 19.10 as we kicked off the show. Up about 1/4 point today there as well. Not at the high for the week, but close to it. The high was 19.33, the low 18.87. So hanging out towards the upper middle end of its weekly range. And then we go down to the Treasury price vol. And again, Treasury's the lowest number on our list by far. It's about 5.32, listeners. So not a heck of a lot of juice to be found in the Treasuries. That said, it's up 0.12 today. So getting a little bit of a lift. And that is the high level for the week. The low, 4.74. So decent little range in Treasury price vol this week. Then we have the aggregate commodities C vol from a vol perspective. The aggregate commodities C vol, 32.60, off 2/3 point just today. That is the low print for the week. The high, 33.63. So coming off over a point out there in the aggregate commodities basket C vol. And then bringing up the bottom of our list is energy, aggregate energy C vol. Below a 50, 48.87, coming in 1 3/4 points just today. That is the low print for the week. The high, 51.31 out there. A variety of different tales on the vol front, depending on which complex you're looking at out there, but definitely a vol drubbing on the commodities and on the energy front.